Right, magic. We're live on YouTube. So, welcome back to the Party Wall Show. Today we're going to talk about the Party Wall process. This is going to be a two-part episode. So, let's get on with it. Now, each week I do the Party Wall Show. My name's Dil. I'm the Chief Surveyor at 1996. So, unfortunately, you have to give me. Please like and subscribe. It's really appreciated. Stay to the end. I'm going to share a little bonus with you. And today we're going to talk about the Party Wall process. If you're a homeowner, you need to pay attention. If you're a surveyor, pay attention. And if you're a construction professional, please pay attention. This is going to be useful for you. Right, let's go. Who are the focus groups? Who are the people who need to be interested in this? So, first of all, we've got architects, construction professionals. They need to be aware of this. Property developers, whether you buy one property and it's just a simple refurb, or you're going to go to a bigger scale, you need to be aware of this subject. If you're in the banking industry, we've just had a query this afternoon regarding one of our projects we did for someone. And there's a bit of a requirement from the banks. So financiers, bankers, and property managers. So if you manage property for your clients, like a portfolio, or as a estate agent for investors, you need to be aware of this process. And last but not least, and probably the most important, if you're a homeowner, definitely need to understand this. Okay, so let me just underline that. If you're a homeowner, 100% definitely need to understand this process. It's probably the most, well, I'm not going to over-egg the pudding. It's not the most important part, but without this, you can't get your extension. So that's the other way I should put it. May not be the most important part. It's not the most exciting, but without this, you can't build your extension. Yeah, it's a bit awkward, and I don't know. I feel sorry. I feel bad having to say that, actually. So it's really important. Please do it. Don't ignore it. So there you go. Hopefully that makes sense. This live, actually. So if you're a homeowner, this is ultra important. That's all I can say. Yeah. Enough mucking around. Right. So why take the Party Wall process? First of all, it's the law. As part of the process, I'm going to explain that in a minute. We can do a schedule of condition on your neighbour's house. It protects both sides, particularly you as a building owner. Stops causing arguments. It's very much like protects the building owner and saves you from false and malicious claims. Okay. Now, the other problem you get is if you don't complete this process properly, your works might be stopped midstream. And it's your responsibility as a building owner, not the architect, not the builder, your responsibility as the owner of a property to do the Party. It also saves you from legal action. Now, we've had occasions where it hasn't been done, legal action has started. It's cost the owners money, and they've had to do the process anyway, so pointless. And just to finish it off, just in case the first point was clear, it is the law. So please, as you probably know, ignorance of the law is not a defense and it's not bliss. So, right, here's a quick summary of the Party Wall process, and you really got to take on board what I'm saying here. This is a horrible piece of legislation. I hope the barristers and the judges aren't. They probably aren't anyway. Right. Okay. So it's a two-stage process. Now, you get other frameworks in law like this, but they're more commercial laws like extending a lease and so on. And a lot of homeowners don't come across this. So there is precedent, if you like, for this. Right. Okay. Stage one starts with the notice. It is not a party wall agreement. Do not call it a party wall agreement. It's served by the building owner to let the neighbours know we're about to start works that are notifiable as party wall. It's a bit of a mouthful. Basically, what you're saying is the work we're about to do comes under the Party Wall Act, so therefore we're giving you a notice. Now, this is a little bit hard to understand, but one way of thinking about it is you're in a restaurant. It's a bit weird, but I've just thought of it. If you're in a restaurant, you're going to have a meal, the waiter's given you a menu. That's what you're effectively doing to your neighbor. It's up to your neighbor to select what they got, the option they're going to choose. Yeah, I'm not sure if that analogy works, but roughly that's what's going on. So your neighbor, your adjoining owner actually decides whether they want a schedule of condition, which is a survey of the property, and that protects both sides, but more so the building owner. This is a largely photographic survey. Now, I said earlier I'd explain. So it's basically like very similar to renting a car. So we go around taking photographs of the property, the neighbour's property, before works begin. So that in case there's allegation of damage, there's no arguments, questions after. Yeah, so that's one. So, okay. Like I said, protects building owners from false and malicious claims. And the next option is they can ask for an award. This is actually a party wall agreement. So the correct terminology is an award. It's a party wall agreement. It's a legal document which sets out rights and responsibilities, both sides. And there you go, I've just said that. Sorry, no swearing. Okay. And it also sometimes cuts out process damage. Okay. Now, you're thinking, what's a building owner? There's various terms. So let me clarify the terms. So on one side, you've got the building owner. There's only one building owner in a party scenario. It's only one building. It could be the freeholder or the leaseholder. Or a limited company, individual partners. It's the party that wants to do the works, basically. On the other side, you can have multiple adjoining owners for one project. Now, what do I mean by that? For example, you'll have the freeholder on the same property. You can also get leaseholders. If it's a property that has freeholders and leaseholders, you can also get people who've entered into these creative contracts that have rights to receive profit. So a lot of the property, in a lot of the commercial and property world, this is going on. And fourthly, but not last, and almost lastly, you can get people who've just exchanged on a property. So they're under a contract to buy the property. For each building, you could potentially have 4 groups of owners. Yeah, it's crazy. Don't like it, to tell you the truth, but it is the law, right? It excludes short hold tenants. It excludes council tenants, and excludes mortgage companies. So that's a bit of a relief. Now, I say freeholders. The reason I've outlined that box, I'm going to share some templates with you later on. That's the bonus. But it only works for freeholders. When you get leaseholders involved, it gets too complicated. Now, the other point I've mentioned on leaseholders, it's more than 1 year. So you can get leases that are more than 1 but less than 7. So they don't show up on land registry, which is where we get our information. So I'm going to use a word I learned this afternoon, leucoma. You're going to get a leucoma. Actually, just a black hole or a blind spot. That's my version of it. Okay. So that's the basics. Now, as I promised, it's a bonus. Here's our bonus. Look, if you Google this stuff, as everybody does, you'll get this. It used to be a booklet. I think it's a website now. They keep changing the format. It's a government booklet that talks about the Party Wall Act and so on and so forth, right? And that's what you're going to get. However, there's problems with it. It's got notice templates that are very difficult to use. So we've created one of our own. The government's so busy, no comments on anything going on in the news at the moment, but there's always stuff going on. So whenever you're watching this, there's probably stuff going on about the government. So don't worry about it. Okay, so here's our little booklet. It's a PDF. You can download it, click the link below. You'll get this checklist. You'll also get these notices, and these are ones we've simplified them, so it's fill in the blanks and delete. And you'll see it if you compare it to the government one. Obviously, I think mine is better, but you be the judge. Now, a little bit of a health warning, I guess. It only works. I've spent a long time trying to make it work for everything. I don't think it's possible. The government one doesn't work on all of these occasions either. So look, so it only works if you own a freehold house that's next to an adjoining owner's another house, whether they're notifiable or not. Depends on the distance. So it only works. You're doing works on a house, and the neighbours that are notifiable are houses. Okay, so you got that scenario. Now, where your house is converted into a flat, or you're in a flat, and you're doing works, and the neighbours are freehold properties, it could work, but the problem you're going to get is whether you need to notify the upstairs or the downstairs, and you should take some advice on that. So it's better to get the advice up front than mess up your party wall notice in the process. Right. Now, it doesn't work here. So if you've got a house and the house next door has been converted into flats, it's too complex. Or you've got flat or a house that's neighboring to a bunch of other flats and you're going to do works in the party. It doesn't work there. So don't use it. It's going to get yourself into a mess. So get some advice. Happy to give you advice, but grab the template so you understand the process. Yep. So that's it. And I hope you found it useful. So please like, subscribe, and if you think it's useful, share it. And I'll see you on next week's program. Look, rewind, rewatch, get your templates, and most of all, thank you for your time and attention. I know everyone's busy, and I hope you found it useful. Now,